Welcome back. Decentralized mining. So, can we decentralize a mining pool? Well, there were some attempts. For example, Peer2Pool built a separate proof of work chain, a shared chain, in an effort to distribute a mining pool. Instead of having like a centralized mining pool operator, there's basically a new chain that's managing the miners. So each block of the shared chain is a share in the particular mining pool, and each shared chain has a lower difficulty than the Bitcoin blockchain, which makes sense, right? You want to have it's just like in a centralized mining pool, you want to have a kind of a parallel chain or like an easier difficulty where miners can then prove that they're doing a certain work, that they're getting results for a certain work. So once a share satisfies the same difficulty as Bitcoin, it is a valid block, and the Coinbase transaction is used as a reward and tracking of the share chain. So the Coinbase transaction here would pay the share chain, and the share chain uses the reward for tracking the share chain for a lower difficulty than the Bitcoin blockchain. It's really just it's a similar concept as the centralized mining pool, just applied to like replacing the operator with a chain. So there are a few problems, like for example the efficiency, like a share is set to be found every 30 seconds, and the more miners you have, the higher the payout variance. So you probably cannot really scale the system towards many miners, which is a problem because you want to have many small miners, and that's the point of a mining pool. Regarding security, you may have many orphan shares, right, at a 30-second block time interval for this shadow chain. You will have a lot of forks, which is not good. It will weaken the security of the peer-to-peer pools, and then you need to incentivize block submission and validation somehow, because this is also a costly endeavor for the particular miners to participate. So the last block found is quite a few years ago, so that project doesn't seem to be active anymore, but it's still, I think it was a very interesting insight and problem to try. I think people should still try nowadays. I don't see any major efforts going into that space. So we will be having a dedicated lecture for smart contracts, but smart contracts are similar to Bitcoin script, just more powerful, right? And they can basically hold code and data storage. So you have the blockchain layer with the different blocks that we already mentioned several times, and on top of this you kind of can think of having an application layer where you execute applications. So smart pool was an idea where you leverage Ethereum smart contracts to create a miner, right? So if you have many miners, you have several shares. So the smart pool then probabilistically samples the submitted shares to verify whether the miners are acting in a benign manner. So you have a miner, he submits a share to the smart contract, and then he receives a reward to his Ethereum address. That's the high-level idea. Thank you very much for watching. The smart pool, unfortunately, is no longer active as far as I know, but the idea to build decentralized mining pools, I think, is really exciting and should be pushed forward.